Hi, welcome, Julie. Thank you for joining me. So this is part of the interview series for the attendees of the Birmingham event or people that are interested in attending. And it's with people that attended the Ultimate Experience in London a couple of years ago. So to kick off, I wonder if you would share why you were interested in the event, why you bought a ticket and why you were there in the first place. What sparked your interest?
Thank you for having me. Ankush shared lots about Steve, and I think he shared the video, the TBONLF, the greatest offensive
The
line
best
player in the
defensive
world. Yeah, the ones
lineman. Yeah.
yeah, that George and Lucy, and he'd shared that, and I watched it, and I was absolutely blown away with it, and I actually shared it on my profile straight away as well, because I was struck with the how powerful it was, how how it was going to play out in different areas of my life. I could see how was I showing up as, how was I being, who was I, and was that who I wanted to be? Like, could just see the possibilities of it. So when the event came up in London, it was an absolute no-brainer. It was like, get me a ticket. I've got to be there, and I need to be in the front row. I didn't get the front row. So yeah, it was just like, if I thought to myself, if I can see so much potential in such a short video, like 2 hours, like what am I going to get from being there? Because nothing beats being in the room with the energy of people and actually like soaking it all up, because it's a totally different experience.
Yeah. And you've just reminded me there when you said get in the front row. The talk that there was at the beginning about being a VIP and how to be a VIP by just changing the way you listen. Now, I'd class myself as a good listener anyway. It's part of my work, it's part of your work. But there was something about that that just hit me differently. You know, being listening without judgment of the speakers, but also listening with when they were acknowledging people, rather than listening with oh yeah, they're great, I'm not, or whatever noise comes in when you're listening to something like that. The invitation to listen about me to all of it. And I think that's why um a lot of things hit me in a way that they normally wouldn't. So yeah, you just reminded me of that. Thank you. Um,
You just reminded me of it, because I remember that being said, and I remember even thinking to myself, I'm getting what I came from even in that. Right? Even in that couple of minutes, like setting the table, setting the expectations, or letting go of the expectations and the judgments and the comparisons. And every single one of us was the VIP that day. All we had to do was choose to be that VIP, and not let the comparison and the anything else that would normally, oh, I've heard this before, or anything else that came in, like not let that impact in, or taking the most out of that experience away with us.
yeah, and it was that microsecond of choice that's opened up so many other choices in the moment. A huge takeaway, definitely. So I'm going to ask you,
What are my
what
biggest
else?
takeaways?
Yeah, what else did you take away? What's one of the biggest things that you can remember that's had a lasting impact on where you are now from that day?
Crikey, we haven't got long enough, but just in off the top of my mind, when you simply asked that question, the first thing that came in my mind was Amy's "forgive quickly, forgive freely." And I know, it was when she was talking, and how she was talking about forgiveness, and how she was talking about when we just release anything that we're holding on to, we are giving that gift to ourselves, not to just to anybody else. Amy's talk was it was like literally the yin and yang of the energies of Steve's and Amy's, which is why they go together so well. And Steve's energy and infinite possibilities that came from his talk, that you, and again, it's choice, because choice is very much in my work as well as yours. And it's his about when we choose to show up as the person we want to show up as, when we make the choices that are going to take us in the direction that we want to be in, then we've got that ability to do so at any time. So the energy of the two, Karan,
Yeah.
yeah, was to his absolutely blew me away as well. Like literally, it's like, if you're gonna, like, let's do this shit, like just do it. It was all so, every single speaker, from Alan James, Alan when he came on, to every speaker talking and introducing everybody else, everybody had their own perfection, their own strong message that was translatable to each and every one of us in our own different ways.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love the uniqueness, and I love the fact that nobody was trying to tell you how to be. They were giving you options and possibilities for you to consider in your life. So my
Yeah.
takeaways weren't like, I've got pages full of notes. I've got a book full of and yours has been them, a book full of signatures, which, because I totally went against everything else I was supposed to do, and instead of getting my finger out in the front, I actually got everybody who was there to sign it. So I've got pages and pages of signatures of people who were there, and my takeaway was, it was the energy, it was the unlimited potential, the ability and capability that each and every one of us has, when we choose to step into that and leave the judgment, leave the comparison, leave all of the stale thinking that isn't us behind.
Yeah. I love that. I really love that. And I love that you brought Amy's speech up, because for me, like, their relationship, Steve and Amy's relationship, had kind of been like on a pedestal, a little bit out there. Like, it's okay for them. That's just the kind of people they are.
Yeah.
And what I felt from Amy's speech was, and all of them with regards to their own lives, but with Amy's, I felt she was sharing the keys, like the way she thought and approached her marriage, um, to what created the results in her marriage. And I think that's one of the, like, the wonderful things about London. It's what I'm looking forward to in Birmingham. Like you say, it's not people telling you how to be, but it's just showing really small distinctions of, rather than approach life in this way, I'm turning up thinking like this, or being like this. And as you can see, these are the knock-on effects. And definitely not a kind of instruction like to do it this way, but it just opens up possibilities, ideas, and oh my goodness, it's that simple, like, which wasn't there before. And I think I'm excited that there's going to be different speakers all doing like different things in their life, but sharing kind of the way that they're approaching it, that is having such a huge effect for them. Or if we want to put it in the words of the books, the way they're being in life, that is having such an effect for them. Yeah.
And I think what people are going to get from coming to Birmingham is, apart from no sleep for days because their mind's going to be buzzing with ideas, but you've been pre-warned. Because you're going to be so excited, you're going to love it so much. So you've been warned. Is they're going to get the fact that they're going to see everybody as a human, because so often, as you say, we can put people on these pedestals, and we can look at people and just think, oh yeah, it's okay for them, they've had it easy or whatever. And so another one of the lessons I took away from London wasn't the one that was from on stage. It was absolutely how Steve looks at Amy all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like you could see how they are always interacting with each other. Even when Amy went up, man, okay, settle down. Then she went, okay, I'm just going to settle down a little bit. Just the communication and the connection that they had. And that, and 100% my connection stronger because of that in my home, 100% because of that. And that was never a lesson on the stage. It was something I seen and just went, yeah. But when we put people on pedestals, it's easy to, like you say, they're up there. So if we're putting them up there, we automatically have to be down here. But that's a load of rubbish, because we are all have the capabilities to be, we're all equals, and all of the speakers are going to be sharing like the humanness of them all, the being of them all, the good, the bad, and the, you know, everything in between, and how if one person can do it, everybody else can.
Yeah. And you've reminded me of another thing that, like, well, the most impactful thing for me, again, wasn't from the speeches, but it was kind of afterwards, and noticing how you know, the message all the time was from the listening part at the beginning was stop the judgment, stop the comparison, stop the criticism, whether it's directed at other people or whether it's directed at yourself. And I just, like, putting the whole day in that perspective afterwards, I was like, oh my goodness, like, these people are living the lives that they are. They're being the people that they are, who they are naturally, when there isn't all that judgment and comparison going on, when they're free to just be themselves. And that really, like, hit me. It was like, oh my goodness, that's on the table for everyone when we stop listening to that that criticism and that judgment, often self-criticism and judgment.
When you stop, when you catch yourself, when you see yourself judging yourself for others, criticizing yourself for others, comparing yourself to others, when you catch yourself and go, brakes on, whoa, you can't help but show up and be in a different energy as a different person.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like when I said whoa, it's just like it's as if like the veins have been taken off, right? As if like the gloves are off. Let's just play. Like,
Yeah.
let's just play, and that's what people in Birmingham are going to get. They're going to be getting right. Let's just come on. Let's just play, and not only that. Like as you know, we had lots of different conversations in the breakouts and met different people, and I met people right here that I'd never seen for years. We'd never met before, but we'd spoken to for years beforehand. And you're meeting people and you're connecting with people, and everybody's in the same like energy, and everybody's in the same like half the time we're in awe of different things that different people have said, and just as you and I are bouncing off this conversation now, remembering different things, that I'm saying something that's sparking something off you, and then that's sparking something off me. And when you're doing that with the people that are there as well, you don't only get the gift of the speakers on the day, as well as everything else everybody's already getting, but all of the after, the ripples are going to be happening afterwards.
Yeah.
It's difficult to put into words, but my goodness, you're going to know it when you feel it.
Yeah. And there are so many people that are part of my life now that I didn't even know before that day. And not just you know, as friends and as catch up, but they've shaped the way my business is going, the way my life is going. We've collaborated on things that and that wasn't even it wasn't even on my radar for attending. It's not one of the reasons I went. And one of the reasons I went is probably like to meet people like yourself that we'd known ages and never met in person. But yeah, I think there's loads there, and I know we could go on for ages, but I'm going to wrap that up there if that's okay.
Be fine, lovely.
Yeah, and thank you very much, and I can't wait to see you again soon.
You are most welcome. Catch you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.